I'd like to speak to the synergy of the course, the various aspects and elements that come together to that create the consciousness and the unfolding and the momentum of that into this morphic field that creates the course and deepens the course and carries us along to build a consciousness of the learning process, and that's a reflection between the assignments in the course and the material in the course and our internal process, and how we organize into a community of learning and integrate into a community of learning to enhance that within each person, and how each person serves everybody else. There's certain essentials, like the essential knitting or the engagement or the connection is there's going to be a presentation of some kind that I make in each week of the course, and then also add videos to that. So like the presentation part that I do sets the tone or a theme or a stage, and often speaks to areas that aren't covered anywhere else. In other words, I may refer to when I'm repeating what goes on in other areas in quite the same way. So there's that video presentation. Often there is a short video on some kind of meditation or contemplative energy. And then I'll bring in various videos that support either the topic of the week or foreshadow something that's coming up. So that's, we'll call that engagement. In other words, the engagement with all that material. And the reading to some extent too, even though the reading is its own track or its own element in the milieu of the course. So engagement is essential. If you must do that, and I say that in a sort of way because it starts exposing you and engaging you with the energy of the concepts and the insight and the exposure. It's not a matter of grasping a lot of information, even though that will happen. It's just engaging this input, this exposure. And of course, along with that is your reflection to it. So the other essential element that is necessary to weave the fabric of the course is your reflection. And this is automatic, of course. You think, what about that? Or that disturbs me, or gosh, I don't know if that's true, or gosh, this gives me this, oh, I see, this opens this great idea. I never thought about that way before, or some new perspective, or something fits together. Oh, I like the way that puts that together. I never thought of that before. So that's reflection is essential. The other essential element, it's like there's three. The other essential element to weaving the fabric of the course is the forum. In other words, the dialogue. So you entering into dialogue with the cohort. And this is like the heart of it. I think in one course, they start calling that the cohort, because it's the heart of the course. And so connecting with this part involves you taking something that caught your notice, inspired you in some way, and making a post, like a statement from something you saw in the video, or something it caused you to be aware of when you reflected on it, or it reminded you of, that was had energy for you. And so you post that, and then other people read that and respond to it, and then you look at other people's posts and respond to their post. That's the classroom forum. or you see something in the reading you want to elaborate on. That's your connection. That's called showing up to class. So these three elements I just mentioned are called showing up to class and participating. And so the dialogue that then unfolds begins to provide a vehicle for the transformational process that's involved in your personal learning and reflexivity of that learning, provides the transformational vehicle for the content of the course, from the spiritual to the intellectual, to ride upon. And so this builds, and this also begins to integrate the group and connect it and link it. And so this just keeps building, and starts out, we're not sure, we're tracking that it keeps building, and we're like really in it. So these three elements are essential for that process. Without it, the course doesn't work as well for everyone. It's very much you get out what you put in, but also everybody else gets out what you put in. See, so everybody's participating. And so we're aware of that need to start to build that energetic, intimate, personal connection with each other. In fact, this is so important that if in the process of the forum you begin to notice somebody's not around much, I'd really invite you to, I think I'll just email so-and-so to see how they're doing, see if they need anything, see if they need some assistance, see if they, just to communicate with them. I do that too. I try to send out at least a weekly statement to people on the messaging. And so if you see someone though that's not showing up much, send them a little email, see what's going on, express your concern, and pull it forward, you see. So that's that helps that community relationship, which is so much the heart of transformation. Our showing up in the community relationship is how this stuff moves on the planet, and brings into it all the elements of consciousness. So also then we have the reading assignment, and where you begin to look at the reading, and again, your response to the reading assignment, your reflection on it, is where the power is, where the energy is, what drives the soul and the intellect to engage in the material and in the process of the learning. And so in that assignment, we're asking you to then write down that, anchor it, put it into form, and put it, and post it. And also then this then does reflect back into the form, because it also is influencing you and your response to things. And also though, we ask each participant of the cohort to at least read everybody's book report every week. And they may or may not comment on that in that forum. They can if they wish, but reading it is real important. To begin, again, it starts to move these energies between everybody, that starts to build understanding and learning, and feeds into the transformative learning process, and into the dialogic energy. Then there's some basic assignments in the course. This is the other big section. And this, the first one's the first paper, and this is the reality paper, and we're really asking you to engage and look at and explore and bring into form and articulate your sense of reality, because that's the key too. It's like you need to know your connection with your reality and how you're staging that and how you're present in that. And to help with this process, then we've teamed up with one other person. So there's this more intimate dialogue between you and your partner forum, and this brings in that element of another dialogic process that between the two of you that takes you into a deeper relationship with that person, but also gives you the reflection on your assignment process that brings forward another level of that. And then of course, and then feeds into it in the same way. So all three of these work together for the whole consciousness of the Course. And this is all, of course, tied to these three essential pieces: the engagement of the material, reflection on the material, and the dialogue of the material in the forum. And then these feed into that in their own way, and then that builds the whole energetic context of the Course, and so it moves along this way. So you become in the awakening and developing, and the synergy and the action of your consciousness becomes your unifying principle, and in support of everybody else, deepening in their unifying principle. So if you're missing in action in any of this process, you take a chunk out of the Course, and you're not providing part of the consciousness to other people for their learning process. So it limits and keeps off balance. But if everybody's engaged and participating in these areas with their consciousness, there's a deeper, bigger thing happens. It's almost like a being is born that becomes this cohort in this class, in this learning process, that becomes connected into the soul of the Course and into the universal field of this process. So everybody's consciousness becomes the teacher. And so, of course, me as instructor is engaged in this too. So I'm looking at this process and seeing where I need to engage people or remind people. So please keep this whole picture in mind, and don't, if you miss something, don't judge it. Just recuperate that, reclaim that as soon as possible. Like sometimes there's an illness comes up or something comes up that puts you a little later than your normal rhythm. So you might be late on an assignment or late with this, so you don't get to all the videos. So if you have to pick a priority to fudge a week through sometimes, to kind of get it in there, engage the material, reflect, enter the forum with both a post and reflection on other people's forum. First priority. Next, of course, is the reading and the reading assignment and reading people's reading assignments. Next is the dialogue with your partner on your assignment, whether it's the reality of the teaching module or whatever, so that it keeps moving. Okay, so I'm very excited about the start we're making here. There's a couple of weeks that some folks have been missing in action, but we're only 3 weeks or so into the course. I guess it's the 4th week, and so now we're deepening into this, and so I wanted to remind everybody and kind of highlight here the nature of the learning process of this course, so you could better understand how to engage it. And if you have any questions about this, certainly get them to me, or if they're of general interest, post them in the forum. Okay, so thank you very much, and